All right, so Bitcoin is holding above 100K, and everybody and their mother, influencers, experts, and so on, are all talking about potential alt season and which altcoins to buy, which ones will make you rich, which ones will make you a millionaire, but no one's really talking about timing, what to expect, when to buy them. So what I'm gonna do in this video, I'm going to tell you what's expected or what I expect the markets to do, how to strategize around these times, and what altcoins I'm personally looking at. And look, I'm not going to edit this video. It's going to be a one take. If there's any mistakes, I'll probably leave them in there. I just want to talk to you here one-on-one. And this new generation of AI this, AI that, high retention editing, where you get all these B-rolls all the time, I just think it's time for us to start speaking more naturally, more personal, and actually talk. So yeah, just like this video if you can. Go grab your favorite beverage. Mine is green mocktails here. I'm just gonna open this, sip it, and just talk to you about markets, what I'm expecting, and which altcoins. Now, before I start, why should you listen to me? If it's your first time here on my channel, well, my channel is called The Crypto Factor. I'm Paul, and this is a cryptopreneurship channel. And I've been in crypto since 2017, not just as a trader and investor, but also as a C-suite executive. I was a CMO, different companies, an advisor. I have written books, multiple books in and out of crypto, so I know all sides of this industry as a KOL, as an influencer, as a marketing director, whole bunch of stuff. So I have kind of a different perspective when it comes to things. Now, also, I have been working on an indicator. Look, I don't want to talk about all that. I want to talk to you about the markets and get straight to the point here. So as we can see, we are looking right now at Bitcoin at 105,630. Okay, so it's holding above the hundreds. You can see the ranges here. And basically, it's still gold here. It's still buy gold. What do I mean by buy gold? You're looking at the factor line. This is my own personal indicator. Don't worry, I'm not going to sell it to you, at least not now, maybe at the end of the video. But this is my own indicator. I use this because it's built on the way I think, the way I trade. It's mostly for long term, for swing trading and investing, but you certainly can day trade on it. But just for time, it's a lot easier for me to do this on my own indicator. So, as I was saying, we're now sitting at 105,600. The indicator called this latest move at around, right here, at around 85K. As a matter of fact, if you go to the 4-hour, the indicator gave you a signal. Let's just wait for it to load. Yep, there you go. All the way down here, around 80K psychological. Of course, told you to sell here, bought back here, continued to the upside. And right now on the 4-hour, we are seeing a bit of a downturn. But you see this SFP level here. This is one of the buying signals for a swing position. And you're seeing this right here, maybe something like this one here. Maybe we go down a little bit more. Let's see how this plays out. But yes, we are going down the 4-hour, but of course the daily over here is still intact. So I'm expecting more upside here. Now, will we come down to, let's say, 101,000? Maybe in the middle of this previous range over here at 99,600, maybe lower. It doesn't really matter. This might very easily turn into a cup and handle formation and then continue to the upside, even though it might not be perfect. It might not be a perfect technical chart. That's what I'm personally looking at. Like one here, you come down, this is the cup. Up here, yes, we had this little fake out over here, but maybe we come back down, find support, and come back up. That's what I'm looking at. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, okay, Paul, that's great, that's fine, that's dandy, but when is alt season? And look, I've been calling for mini alt seasons ever since 2024. I was telling you we're gonna have mini alt seasons, and that's what we had. And right now we're having another mini alt season, which we perfectly called. Before we got to 74K, I said the mid 70s, that's where we're gonna bounce, and we're gonna have a mini alt season, and we're gonna see if that goes into an extended alt season, and we're still waiting for that. But right now, I want to give you the different scenarios I'm looking at, okay? And there's basically three scenarios I'm looking at. One of them, I'm not really looking at this, is we just go down. We just go straight down and into a technical bear market. And if you remember, in 2023 and 2024, I was saying that the top of Bitcoin, we're going to have a shorter bull market, and the top of Bitcoin will come in at end of 2024, beginning 2025. Then we're going to either have a bear market or what will look like a bear market. And I'm leaning towards the second. I'm leaning towards what will look like a bear market, and that's what we had with a drop to 75K. Now, if I am correct, then we shouldn't go back down and break that level. If we do, hey, guess what? We were wrong. We should have called the first option, which I initially called. But right now, I'm leaning to the second sort of structure. So what are the potentials here? What are the probabilities? And what's the strategy to combat all of them, if that makes sense, to set yourself up here? And it is really quite simple. See, what I'm looking at is either we form this cup and handle here, so we come up here like we did, we come back down to 100K, maybe 96, we bounce, and we continue to the upside. If this scenario happens, then it is quite possible that we're gonna have a dump either now or in summer, and then do the final leg up after the summer towards the end of 2025, the 3 months towards the end of 2025. That is my likeliest scenario, and that's what I'm looking at. Now, that's probably where the Bitcoin top is gonna be. If altcoin's gonna run a little bit further than that, we don't know yet, but we're gonna evaluate. So what should you be doing now in this case? Well, you should wait for one more leg up, which I believe is gonna happen, and in altcoins. Again, I'm not sure it's going to be a full-blown alt season just yet, but I do believe that altcoins will run, especially certain altcoins, which I'll talk to you about in this video a little bit later. I'll give you my altcoin picks. And basically, you want to start taking profits into Bitcoin. Why do you want to start taking profits into Bitcoin? It's very simple. Let me show you real quick. And don't leave, this is probably the most important part of the video you're going to see. So just bear with me 1 second. All right, so what you want to be doing is taking profits from altcoins into Bitcoin. And the reason is very simple here. If Bitcoin drops, let's say 20%, or even 30 or 40%, and by the way, this is possible here. I just don't think it's going to happen now. I think it's going to happen in our second scenario, which we'll talk about in just 1 second. But let's say Bitcoin drops anywhere from 5, 10, 20%, really doesn't matter. Okay? If Bitcoin drops this much, altcoins drop this much. They drop more. So by taking profits into Bitcoin, you can actually use that Bitcoin to buy the dips, because generally Bitcoin falls less than altcoins. Or if the markets continue going up, then it doesn't matter because you're still exposed into Bitcoin, you're still exposed into crypto. So once we get that blast off, so to say, whether it's short-lived or long-lived, you want to be taking profits from altcoins into Bitcoin to protect yourself, but also setting yourself up to buy the dip. And I do think a dip's going to come around the summertime, maybe August, maybe 20, 30, 40%, maybe even more. It's just something that I believe is going to happen. It's happened before. I think it's going to happen again. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter because you took profits into Bitcoin. Of course, taking profits does not mean exiting all markets. Taking profits is profits, not your entire position. So you're still exposed into crypto. Both scenarios, we're going to be exposed to crypto. So that's scenario one. You take profits from the altcoins into Bitcoin. The ones I'm going to tell you, the altcoins I'm going to tell you, which I believe are going to do the most profits. So stick around, I'll tell you about those altcoins. The second scenario is we get a banana zone. So let's say from over here, we'll find support very quickly and just blast off, just blast off during summer. And if that happens, I do believe that we're going to have an even shorter bull market. We're going to get a blow off top. So in that case, you definitely want to be taking profits from altcoins into Bitcoin, but also USDT, whatever stable coin you use, if you want that, because we're looking for the end of the market and getting into a bear market. Whether it's going to be a full-blown bear market, technical bear market, structural, we'll see. We could talk about that, okay? But basically, that's the play here, to actually protect yourself. So I'm leaning towards, we go up a little bit more now, maybe to 110 again, maybe 120,000, then have a dump around the summer, and then have that one more leg up, that massive banana zone. But even if we don't do that, if we have the banana zone right now, we're already set up, because we got back into altcoins when Bitcoin was 75K, and we got into some very powerful altcoins, and hopefully you are too, as soon as you watch this video and see which altcoins I'm getting into. So let's talk about the altcoins I'm getting into here. And look, I'm just going to show you on Crypto Bubbles here, and no, I'm not telling you to buy all these altcoins, right? I'm just going to give you some picks from these altcoins. And the first one you want to be looking at is Solana. You want to be looking at Solana because Solana, yes, it's going down right now, but I do believe it's going to make a comeback. I know this isn't the best chart it's showing right here on the monthly. This actually looks like it may even come down more, all the way down to 152 before it comes up again, or maybe it just steps and cracks from this level. Let's see what it does. But generally speaking, Solana is a player in this bull market. So you want to be on Solana, you want to be looking at Ethereum. We actually called the bottom of Ethereum. I have the video, I'll actually show you the video, we actually called it and told you to get in right before it blasted off. As a matter of fact, if you come to my channel over here and just go to videos and scroll down, you'll see it right here. Everyone's bearish on Ethereum. This was 3 weeks ago, but if you click on it and you actually pause it and come down here and click more, you'll see members saw this first on the 18th of April. And people in my group saw it even before that. So we called this drop on Ethereum perfectly. So if you're not following, if you're not subscribed to the Crypto Factor, if you're not subscribed to this channel right now, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, we made the best calls. We called Bitcoin at 15.6K before it got there. We caught the bottom of Ethereum right when it started performing against Bitcoin. We called the double top in the last bull market. We called everything. I mean, we called the drop. We called the Trump dump. We did everything. You can check this out. You can check this out on my channel. Yes, we got a couple of things wrong, but long term, especially with major coins, we got most 80% at least right, so you should be happy. So subscribe down below, hit that bell notification button. That's the thumbs up button, but pretend this is a bell. Hit the bell. No, but I can't really make a bell. But you get the drift. Hit the bell notification button so you don't miss those videos. Corny joke, I know, but this is, again, not edited, so yeah, bear with me. So Solana and Ethereum, and it goes without saying, getting into SUI as well. I do believe that SUI is going to make a Solana type move this bull market. We called Solana at $2 last time, and I called SUI just below that this time, and I think it's going to do something very similar to Solana. So we have Solana, Ethereum, SUI, and of course, we got to get into the SUI ecosystem. So you have Walrus over here. But another good one is DeepBook, which is now down. It might be an actual good opportunity because of the hack on Cetus and all that, and I actually think it's a pretty good opportunity. So you have those. Those are our main coins, if you will. And yes, Cow has been doing well, but again, I can't call every single coin in this video. I'm just going to give you the basics right now. So we talked about these coins. Now we're going to talk about AI, because I do believe that AI is still going to run in this bull market, in this cycle. And yes, we were the first channel to talk about AI. We talked about AI when everybody was talking about gaming. We said that AI is going to be the main narrative of this bull market, of this cycle. And as a matter of fact, we said in the last cycle, I said that this cycle, the one we are in now, it's going to be about AI. Everybody was talking about gaming again. We were in AI. And we're going to continue in AI till the end of this cycle, okay? So And when I say end of cycle, a lot of people are wondering, Paul, what about what if it's an extended bull market? What if it's not? It doesn't really matter. We're going with a 4-year cycle until proven otherwise. A lot of people are calling for extended. A lot of people are calling shorter, and I do believe it might be shorter, but until proven otherwise, we're using the 4-year cycle, and we're going by that. We're just taking less profits towards the end, if that makes sense, for a potential extended, but we're going to get out of most of our positions. If it's an extended bull market, we can always buy back and ride the wave up again. Nothing goes up in a straight line. We will get a dump, then it will continue. So we can reevaluate when the time happens, when it happens. Does that make sense? Okay, let's get back to our altcoins here. So we have our coins here. Now, another one, as I was saying, virtual. So this is an AI play. This is an AI agent play. Listen, AI agents are all the rage. Virtuals is on Base. Base protocol is on Coinbase or by Coinbase, and the AI agent, the blue chip AI agent coin is virtual. As a matter of fact, I made a virtuals comeback video, virtuals reloaded. I had the little matrix thumbnail and everything on my channel. And the reason I did that is because they were the first to innovate against snipers and against bots, against people dumping, and they did that with a point system, which was actually very interesting. Now, it's called Genesis. Watch that video. If you haven't looked, it's right here. Listen, just go to my channel, look. All you have to do is go to my channel here. Let me just pause this. Now, look, Virtuals Reloaded right here. And I called this months ago in my group, a few months ago in posts, and right here 3 weeks ago, and it did very well. So we actually called this one again. We got in this one heavily, and it did very well. Talking about virtuals, another one you want to be in, and I'm not going to show you on screen right now because I have to change my, let me just change my card and show you, is Vader. Right here, Vader. Now, why Vader? Well, if you look at virtuals as a blue chip, you want to look at Vader as a high-risk altcoin, the ecosystem coin. But you have to understand when Virtuals Reloaded, when Virtuals came out again, and they did all this great point system I was talking about, what they did, in order to participate in Genesis, in launches, you have to have points, and there's 3 ways to make these points. One is by holding Virtuals, which is great. Number 2 is by trading on Virtuals, awesome. Number 3 is staking Vader. And that struck me as kind of peculiar. I'm like, wait a minute, why do you have to stake Vader? Something's going on here, so I bought Vader. Does that make sense? So we got into Vader. So if you just want to get on AI agents, when it comes to Base, because we're going by trend stacking here. Look, Base is stacked with AI agents and AI. You want to be getting into virtuals and Vader. This is my opinion only, by the way. My opinion. You do what you want. Let me remind you, we have a disclaimer. I have the disclaimer in the beginning of the video. It's in writing. It's down below the video. I'm telling you again right now, do your own research. This is just my thoughts here. I own some of these cryptocurrencies, and I will be dumping these cryptocurrencies towards the end of the bull market, right? Don't think I'm just going to hodl forever. I'm not. So make sure you check them out. So make sure you check out the disclaimer. And as I was saying, another one you want to get into is Cookie. Another one we called very early, extremely early, because I was saying that we have AI agents. They are right now trending, and Cookie is on Binance. So back then it was only on Binance. So Cookie is another one, and they've been making waves. So you have AI agent plays on Base and Binance right now, and you want to get into something like AI16Z, which I don't see here. I think it's in my favorites, or it should be in my favorites. Yeah, AI16Z, and that's your Solana play. So now you have altcoins in AI agents, altcoins that are AI agents on Solana, on Base, and also on Binance. And if you want to get something on Sui, you could do that as well. Maybe you can get something like Sui AI. I can never remember that one because it's not a basic one. But if ever Sui comes into trending when it comes to AI agents, that's one to be holding there, because that's kind of like the virtuals of the Sui network, if that makes sense. So let's move on here. Paul is another AI play. You can be holding Paul. It's not an AI agent, but it is AI, AIOZ as well. We actually called this very, very early, as well as Solidus, AI Tech. And that one I was talking about in the previous bull market. I was saying it's going to do well in this bull market. So if you were following me back then, you're welcome. Now, Hype is another one, Hyperledger. I've been talking about this one for a while. This one is also a very good play over here. And then you want a couple in gaming. And when it comes to gaming, I'm personally holding a couple. One of them is Beam, because this one's AI and gaming. So I'm holding and staking Beam. As a matter of fact, I have nodes in this. And the other one is Pixel, which I think is going to be the Minecraft or the Axie Infinity of this run. So Pixels and Beam. There are other ones like IMX and so on, but I'm holding these ones for sure. I get in and out of the other ones. Then you want to be looking at RWA. If you remember my videos in 2024, 2023, I was saying that RWA as well as DPEN is going to be coming in later in the cycle towards the end of the bull market, and that's where we are now. A little bit before that, we actually started getting into these DPENs and RWA projects, and the ones I'm personally looking at most is Ondo. I think Ondo's a monster. I think it's going to do very well. I think it's the blue chip of RWA. And then, of course, you have Link, which is not really doing anything, where it doesn't seem to be doing anything, but this is probably the biggest RWA play in the world with the most utility over here, because it is an oracle. It takes information from outside the blockchain to the blockchain, so actually smart contracts and platforms can function. And it also is with Swift and those different other things. So these are my plays when it comes to RWA. And when it comes to DPEN, I'm holding Render. And I almost forgot, I'm also holding ATH or staking ATH over here. I think this is going to do very well. Aether. This is also an AI play, in my opinion. And this is just what I'm staking and holding over here. I'm not recommending these right now. I'm not recommending them, but I'm not recommending them either. Of course, we need some meme coins as well. These are the meme coins I am holding. I would advise Doge and Pengu, in my opinion, and also Fartcoin, because Fartcoin is actually AI. It's actually an AI meme coin. It actually has AI function. Chill Guy is one I got in as well. It's doing very well. Let's see if it does better. But yeah, those are most of my plays. Now, of course, I'm in a lot more altcoins than this, but you have to take your picks. And I'm just trying to tell you mostly about the strategy and timing when to actually get in. And something very important, if you're not sure about timing, if you're not sure when to get in, when to sell, when the top, when this, when that, I actually have an indicator that does this for you. You know what? I'm not going to even sell. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to sell the indicator right here. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave a webinar, a free webinar in the description down below and also in the chat so you can watch. You can watch that webinar. It busts 7 myths in crypto that are keeping you poor. And even the experts, the so-called experts, are parroting these myths, and they're just destroying you, okay? They're destroying you. It's a free webinar. You don't have to do anything. You do have to put your email address in order to access the webinar. It's very easy. Don't worry. It takes you to a YouTube link after, right? Just watch the webinar, and then if you're interested at the end of that webinar, I'm going to show you my indicator. If you want to buy it, great. If you don't, that's okay. The webinar is 100% free. So check out the webinar down below. And if you want to know which altcoins I'm holding, and why, all of them, almost my whole portfolio, the ones I suggest most from my whole portfolio, then make sure you watch this video right here. Don't miss that video. It's gold. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.